making people realize that they can do anything, in most cases with what they have, right where they are, with exactly who they're with, even if they're just with themselves.
Man, first of all, I hate making videos in the car. And I actually hate watching videos made in the car. But although, you know, in one of my movies, a lot of it takes place in the car. So I don't know what that means, but I don't prefer that. Let's just say that. But in this case, it's pouring outside. I was going to go to a beautiful location and shoot this, but I don't feel like dealing with the rain today, so I'm not going to do that. The other thing is I shot a whole different video yesterday.
The reality is, like, you could take a micro four thirds camera and you could make a movie. And that movie could be of a quality that would be worthy of HBO or Netflix or a big screen.
I shot a video about when is it enough, you know what I mean? Like when are we happy with anything, you know, with what we have, with where we are, with who we're with. Like when do we like sit down and focus on what is presently and just try to master that, you know, master being great with your camera or a better friend, a better human being, you know, appreciate your home and make it a great home. Like, when is it enough, you know? And there's nothing wrong for reaching for the stars, you know what I mean? And just trying to get everything, but I don't know. There's just something to be said for appreciating what you have as well. And that's what the video is about. But
you can do amazing things. You can inspire, especially if you're fortunate enough to be an artist with an imagination, with a vision to share, to create stories. You can make such incredible contributions to the world and just make your life so rich and so full, and do the same for others.
You know, I saw something last night that I felt like it was important to make this video, and I did not use Vuhlandes' name in my title here because I didn't want this to look like I was trying to get views or I was trying to get people to my channel, because I have a tiny ass little channel of 660 subscribers or something like that, like, you know, and I'm grateful for everyone, and that would be a good crowd for a live theater piece, but you know, it's a tiny YouTube channel. I have YouTube videos that sometimes get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views, but then I have YouTube videos that get 50 views. So obviously, I'm not a big YouTuber. I haven't figured it out. And, you know, honestly, I don't care all that much about that part of it, but I enjoy doing this. And I'm going to continue to do it. But I'll get back to Vuhlandes in a second. The thing about YouTube for me is that lately, I feel like it's really changed. You know, like obviously a lot of YouTubers have quit, they've left, or they're changing, or I don't know, there's some kind of shift going on. And I noticed that I don't see a lot of the same YouTubers that I used to see come across my feed every day. And it might be that I changed camera systems, because, you know, I used to have a Sony camera and now I have a Panasonic. Could be that, but it also could just be that things are changing, and a lot of these YouTuber, you know, influencers or whatever you want to call them that I see, I don't find them to be as knowledgeable as the YouTubers from the past who I learned from, you know, who I learned the fundamentals of filmmaking from, you know, literally like film school, you know. I don't see that as much right now. You know, I remember when I first started watching Gerald Undone, thinking to myself, he might as well be speaking Mandarin. Like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. But there was something inside of me telling me that if I continued to listen, and if I just kept watching these videos and, you know, taking my camera afterwards and applying it and going out and shooting and, you know, making art, like making work, and just trying to really put this stuff to real practice, that I was going to get something out of it. And eventually I would understand what he's saying. And that actually happened. Like, after a while, people like him, Philip Bloom, Potato Jet, like, you know, Danny Gavertz, Mark Bone, like, I got it. Like, I was understanding what they were talking about. And so I don't see a lot of that on YouTube right now. And I guess Also, I'm kind of at a crossroads in many, many ways too with certain things, and I'm searching for meaning. And, I watched a video this morning about, what makes a great story, what makes a great script. And this guy said something that did resonate with me. It's like, if you can't tell somebody what your story is about, at the heart of it, like the crux of it, like what is it about, then chances are you're just kind of floundering around and you're not really creating a great story that people are going to get, And I feel, it made me feel good to hear that, because I just finished making a movie, and when people ask me what it's about, I tell them it's about survival. Finding that one thing that makes you actively decide to survive all that you have to deal with in your life. And you have to continue to do that incessantly in life. You have to continually find things around you to make you want to survive the day. And for many people, this is a life and death proposition. And that's what the film is about. It's about survival. And, but I digress. I was watching YouTube last night and I came across Vuhlandes. Now, this is a YouTuber who I follow and who I actually think is amazingly gifted, really talented, really authentic. He's from Detroit. He highlights his neighborhood, his city, his home. And a lot of it is uncomfortable for certain people, People don't like to see like guns in videos and things like that. But that's his hood, And he said, look, you don't like it, don't watch it. But I am documenting my life. And he's unapologetic about it, and I love that, I love it. And by the way, he's the perfect example of somebody who takes things that make people feel uncomfortable, perhaps, and makes them beautiful. Because if you really, really watch his work, it's undeniable how beautiful his work is. Like, he is high-level cinematographer, filmmaker. Now, I don't know if he does it all himself, really. I don't know if he has help. I don't know if he has a crew. I don't know I don't know shit about him. I just know that what comes across on his channel is magnificent, really awesome. And he's young, I would say he's probably 25, somewhere between 22 and 32. Like maybe he looks young, or maybe he's older than he looks. Like, I have no idea. Maybe he is just really young, but he ain't 35, he ain't 40, that's for sure. And put a video up yesterday, and he said, I have cancer. And it just stopped me in my tracks. I was like, whoa. And, then I thought, it's April 1st. But he doesn't come off as an asshole to do some shit like that. So I believed it. And sure enough, he's not well right now. He's fighting for his life. Even though he said it's not a death sentence in the video, and it's not a death sentence, but you're certainly fighting for your life when you have to go through treatment for cancer. And I just thought, wow, a young life like this, being interrupted and having to do all this stuff that he has to do. And he said something that really broke my heart. At the very end of the video, he goes, I'll probably lose my hair. And you could just tell that his hair is so important to him. And, people who are black, their hair is such a spiritual thing. I don't know if you ever saw Chris Rock's movie, or, I just know from my friends, it's a real spiritual journey. And it has great meaning, and you can tell that he takes great pride in it, and it means a lot to him. And so to lose that, and by the way, it'll grow back, but he's just going through a lot, And I'm going to put a link in the description to the video that I watched, because he has a GoFundMe as well. And that was really why I wanted to do this, because I thought, if we are really a community, if we really are that, then you choose the people that resonate with you, and you choose the people who... Well, let me put it like this. You ever watch a show and you kind of get invested in the people? Like, I don't know. I'm a lot older than most people watching this, but, like a long time ago, if you ever watched All in the Family, and Archie Bunker and Edith, his wife, like when she died, that destroyed people. Like you felt like you knew Edith, and you knew Archie. When a show like, when shows close, when they end, when you're invested in the characters, you're invested in the stories, you when the final season comes and they shut down the studio for the last time and they've been on set for 7 years, or when you're watching a podcast all the time and you get invested in somebody. I mean, I remember I watched a YouTube channel. No, I was following an Instagram channel a few years ago about this couple that stopped working because their dog was dying. And they traveled across the country with this dog so that they could take him to like beaches all over the country and cool places. And then he died, And so anyway, Vuhlandes for me is somebody who, I don't feel like I know him, and, I don't feel like that, but I'm invested in his life and his work. I want him to do well. I learn a lot from him. He resonates with me, And so I just feel like if we are a community, then, as many people as possible who saw his video should talk about it, and should share what he said. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to link his video in the description. It's going to have a link in his video to his GoFundMe, and you could do that if you want. But if nothing else, think about him, send him that good energy. If you believe in prayer and stuff like that, pray for him. I'm not that kind of person, but, I'm certainly going to think about him a lot. I am a very spiritual person, and I'm going to send him all that good energy and all that healing energy, and just hope for the best, and believe that he's going to do well, and believe that he's strong. His spirit is strong. He seems so positive, He was Vuhlandes. He was just normal in the video, but I could also tell that he's scared, and he should be scared, and we all should be scared because, life is so fleeting. I mean, my best friend died years ago now, very young, and life, when my father got sick, my father was perfectly fine. He got sick, and 4 months later he was gone. My biological mother got hit by a van and died on the street. My father's father, my grandfather on the adoptive side, he got hit by a car on Gun Hill Road in the Bronx and died. Like, life is unpredictable and it's fleeting and it's not promised to anybody, and that's why I say, every day you have to survive, and every day you have to find joy, and every day you have to find meaning to your life. Why are you here, and at the end of the day, what kind of person are you? Who are you? And so I just felt like after I saw Vuhlandes' thing last night, I was like, I got to make a video about that. Like, I'm not posting a video today about when is it enough? When do you have enough cameras? When do you have enough, like, all that, and I'm going to bleep that word out because I want the YouTube algorithm to be kind to this video, and maybe this video will go viral, and it'll be for all the right reasons, and to, and I'm sure Vuhlandes is never going to see this video, but if enough people do this, he'll raise a lot of money where he won't have worries about, his situation if it gets worse, if his life becomes financially challenged because of this. And he'll know that people care about him, And, I'm not saying you love him, you care about him like you know him. Like, that's all bullshit. You know what I mean? But if you watch his work, and if he's the kind of, the thing that I relate to is that I'm very transparent about who I am. I'm very intimate with my work. People who've seen me on stage have said that many times, like, you feel like you know me, because I allow you to know me, at least my soul, my spirit, like, obviously you don't know where I live and you don't know my day-to-day life, but kind of what you see is what you get, and that's how I feel about Vuhlandes, He seems very genuine, and I appreciate that, and I respect it, and I enjoy it, that's the reason I follow his channel, because I enjoy it, because I feel like, a lot of the other stuff is just boring to me, Like, if I need specific information, I'm going to YouTube and I'm going to learn. I'm going to check out reviews on a lens if I'm interested. If I need a wide-angle lens, I'm going to check out a bunch of wide-angle lenses for my L mount, If I need to learn more about lighting, I'm going to check out some lighting videos, like stuff like that, Generally, I'm more apt to watch videos by directors and cinematographers talking about more of the spiritual side of shooting and also technique. But not, once you learn the basics, once you learn about white balance and ISO and focal lengths and aperture and all that kind of stuff and lighting and sound, once you know it. Then you just have to apply it, Then you have to actually do it. It doesn't mean anything if you just know it. Like, you have to go do it. That's what I like about Vuhlandes' channel. You know, he makes little movies. Like everything he does is very moving. You know, movies should be moving. You know, and I don't mean physically moving, but just moving, like in your chest, you know. I love that about his stuff, you know. So yeah, I don't feel like I know him. Obviously, he doesn't know me. I don't know him. He could be a total asshole for all I know. But I kind of know that he's not, you know. And I don't know. Wow, a car just drove past me here and went right over the sidewalk. That was kind of bizarre. Wow. But I digress. That was so weird. It was like right next to me. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching this. I'm going to show you, I showed you the B-roll from yesterday, so you saw some nice shots, but otherwise, you know, hook them up, you know, help them out, at least watch, at least listen, and, you know, check out his channel. The boy is badass, you know, he's really, really good. And you learn a lot from it. You know, his short films are amazing. His photography is great. He works with film cameras, digital, everything. He's a cool guy, you know, and he's a good artist. So that's all I wanted to say today instead of the other video, and I'll get back to normal videos tomorrow. And yeah, so please subscribe and please hit the like button. I'm doing all the YouTube things now. And my Patreon link is in this page too. I just finished making a feature film all by myself. Getting ready to put it out into the universe. I'm fixing up. I do have a trailer, but I have to fix it because some of the stuff in the trailer wound up getting cut from the final film, so I got to change that. So anyway, check out my website if you're interested in my work. Now I'm doing all the promotion stuff. So yeah, back to Vuhlandes. Go to his page, and thanks for watching. And have a beautiful day and appreciate it because, you know, as Terry Warfield says, you ain't had it. So appreciate today because it didn't have to be here, you know, for you, for me, for anybody. But here we are, and how lucky are we for that, and to be here with one another, even though we're not physically with one another. And, you know, I'm talking into a camera, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, we're here, like you're there, I'm here, and hopefully I'm going to be here tomorrow, and so will you. And so go to Vuhlandes' page. All right. Peace. I couldn't do the peace sign because I'm holding a little thing that goes into my hot shoe mount. So yeah.